Hello, thanks for watching another quick tips video from GoEngineer. My name is Joseph Catrona. This video is going to explore a new functionality that's been introduced with this latest service pack, and it can cause a bit of confusion. Most of our customers are not running into this, but if you are, it can be utterly confusing. So we're just going to point it out and want you to be aware of the following. So with 2012 in Enterprise PDM Service Pack 4, with regard to the search tool, if you're searching on a variable and that variable is found in multiple configurations, you may see duplicate files in the results. Now, if you have a configuration column in the results, then you're not seeing this. Instead, you're seeing the different configurations in that configuration column. However, if you don't have a configuration column, the search will return those duplicate files, which can be very confusing. Now, this is because a new feature has been added this year that was highly requested, and basically customers just wanted to be able to see which configuration a variable was found in. If they're searching on a variable, they'd like to know which configuration it's found in. So in adding that, there is a little bit of inconsistency if you don't have the configuration column in your search results. So that's really wordy and confusing in itself. So let's take a look at it in the application. So I'm just going to browse down into my C drive, into my Vault view in the familiar Windows interface. And let's say I'm looking at the Vault and I'm trying to find a speaker assembly. And I know that if I use my with config search card, so just pulling down my search tool, I'll use the with config search card, and I'm going to search on a file that has speaker in its description. So I've got several results here, and I know that this speaker is the top level assembly and these are some subcomponents. But if I go down to the data card here, I can see that I'm actually having speaker in the different configurations. So for the description of each one of these 4 configurations, I have that variable that I'm searching on has returned, has met the criteria. So if I drag that down, I can see that actually here in the configuration column, this column here in my search result, it's telling me all the configurations that that's found in, separated by a comma. Now I have a very similar, exactly the same search card, but instead it's not going to have this configuration column in the results. So let's do the same search with that one and search for speaker in the description. Okay, you can see immediately I've got many more results, and if I pull this over and take a closer look, all of these are actually the same file, same assembly number, same document number. So we can tell that, immediately that would be pretty confusing to an end user. Now the good news is, if you're just using the default search card, like the complete search that came with your Vault built in, and you search for speaker, it does have a configurations column. So you're probably not running into this at all unless you've created a custom search results column. Now, just to take a quick look at where that's used, inside the PDM administration tool, we can look at the data card, more specifically the search card, and we can see with config, if I open that up, we specify here when we're creating the search card which column set to use. So I've also got, I'll open the other one, search card without config. So these are an exact copy of the same card, except one, this top one here, uses with config, and if I select on the bottom, we can see it uses a results column without config. So what that looks like in the admin tool is just setting up 2 different columns. So one has configuration in the column set, a search results type column set, and then the other does not. So without config, so it doesn't have same other variable columns, but without configuration. If I go ahead and added configuration to this one as well, it would work fine also. So let's take a look at that one more time. If I'm just using browse into the vault, maybe down into the right projects folder, and I know I'm looking for a file, maybe I'm searching on assembly number. So I know that it's got 113 in the assembly number. If I use the with config search card that uses the with configs column, it has a configurations column, in other words, it works perfectly. However, if I use the without config and search for a document, or actually an assembly that has a 113 assembly number, I'm going to see duplicates here. So pretty straightforward, and you may not be running into it at all, but we do want you to be aware of it. So the moral of the story is that the workaround, if you are creating your custom column sets to be used with searching, just throw a configuration column in there, even if it's all the way over at the last column and you really can't see it when you're searching. As long as it's there, this will work properly. And then, the other item to point out is that you may not even be running into this if you're using the default complete search card that came in with kind of the default configuration of Enterprise PDM. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions at all about this, feel free to send us an email. And if you'd like to know more about Enterprise PDM, also shoot us an email. My name is Joseph Catrona. Joseph Catrona there in the green lettering. My email is J, first initial, last name, @GoEngineer. Be happy to help if there's any further confusion with this. And again, thanks for watching.